Hi everyone. My name is Chi Nguyen. I'm at the moment actually based in Amsterdam at the headquarters with Travelife. But my role at Travelife is as a regional manager. So I'm managing all of the accounts for Travelife in Asia and Pacific region. So hopefully within a very short time of an hour, I will be able to walk you guys through the whole Travelife process, break down all the myths about certification, sustainability certification being difficult, expensive. So we're going to break that all down. And I would try to make the Travelife sustainability certification as simple and as accessible to you as possible within today. I would also briefly walk you through the Travelife online platform, which will be the platform that you as a tour operator will be working with in order to communicate with us and go through the whole certification process. So before we start, let me share with you my screen. And if you can't see my screen, or if you have trouble seeing my screen, please pop a message to Ritu or over chat so she can help you with those technical problems. So I'm not sure if everyone has attended the introduction meeting where Travelife General Managers, now Christers, has presented back in 1st of April with TOFTigers. But if someone was here, I hope that he already gave you a brief introductions about Travelife. I just want to repeat again there about maybe there are around some confusions about the name Travelife. You probably heard of Travelife for tour operators and Travelife for hotels. So within this seminars, I want to break it down again so that everybody completely understand what it is about. So we are based in Amsterdam. Is Travelife for tour operators, and the certification that we're providing is only for tour operators and travel agencies. Meanwhile, we have a sister company which is also called Travelife, but they provide certifications specifically for hotels and accommodations, and they are based in London. We are both used to be under the same Travelife umbrella back in the day, back in the first establishment in 2017. But at the moment, we are managed by two different organizations. So if you would ask me questions about Travelife for hotels, I won't be able to answer, and I would need to forward that to my colleagues in London. But within the framework of today, we will just focus on the Travelife for tour operators. And the Travelife certifications follow the three-stage process. So we call the first stage Travelife Engage, which basically means that you start with the whole process, you become our members, you would have access to all of the learning materials on our platform. You start educate yourself and your team on different themes, different elements of sustainability, and start bring your operations to the next level. And then you go to stage 2, Travelife Partner, and which is not the certification stage. It is a middle stage, and we call it a recognition for your commitment in sustainability. And then you would go to the last stage of Travelife Certified, which is the final certifications. So again, at stage 1, fairly simple. You start paying the membership fee. You become our members. As a result of a partnership between Travelife and TOFTigers, TOFTigers will be the party that helps you with the whole registration process. How can you register? How can you register your company on the Travelife platform? They will be the one who activate your account and helping you understanding the Travelife platform system, understanding where can you find the learning materials, and help you throughout the whole process if you have any questions. Throughout this process with all the Travelife materials, your aim is to get to stage 2 of the Travelife certification process, which is called Travelife Partner. And at stage 2, again, it is not the certification stage, it is an award stage. So you will be able to acquire a Travelife partner logo that can be published on your commercial platforms, like your website, your social media, your brochures. In order to get to Travelife Partner, you will have to report to us online, and this is how the platform look like online. I'm not sure if you would see my screen clearly, but we divide sustainability into 10 different themes. The first one is, how do you work on sustainability management and legal compliance? How do you work towards your staff? How do you work within your working office? How do you work with communities around your office? And how do you work with your suppliers in terms of inbound partner suppliers, transport suppliers, accommodations, excursion providers, tour guides? And finally, how do you work with destinations, and what kind of communication that take place between you and your customers, so that your customers also understand and aware of the codes of conduct that they need to perform when they're traveling to India. At this stage, the Travelife Partner standards would have around over 100 criteria, but not all of them are mandatory, of course, so it sounds very overwhelming. But the whole process on how to report to Travelife, that will be the responsibility of TOFTigers. So the TOFTiger teams will help you in understand the Travelife platform, help you to understand the Travelife standards. And as long as the Travelife online reporting is reported on 100%, so it's 100% complete, TOFTigers will be the one who run the first desk assessment, of course, based on the Travelife standards. So they will tell you what are the weaknesses in the report, where do you need to improve, so you can get to the Travelife Partner level. This means that everyone can get to the Travelife Partner stage, no matter where you are. The only difference is that if you already very advanced and far with your sustainability performance, it might take you less time in before obtaining the Travelife Partner Award. And if you just started with sustainability, nothing has been in place, then you take your time in incorporating the Travelife standards in your operations, and you take your time in getting the Travelife partners. Travelife does not have any deadline, so however long it takes for you to get to Travelife Partner is entirely up to you. And of course, the Travelife...
Just a quick one there. In fact, the Travelife process with your mentoring actually happens with Travelife, not with TOFTigers. So they appoint someone to help go through that process rather than one of us.
Oh yeah, well, for now, but the aim is that
for now, in the future,
yeah, exactly. And so the Travelife certified stage is the final stage of the Travelife certification process. At this point, as you, we will have more criteria for you to report to. So you can see this is the tables where we compare the compliance criteria between Travelife Partner stage and Travelife certified stage. So obviously at the next level, we expect you to do more as the tour operators, but more doesn't mean impossible. It's all about what can you do at your maximum capacity to practice sustainability. And so at certified stage, we will have around double the standards that we require you to have for Travelife Partner stage. At this stage, an extra step will also take place, which is an independent audit. Normally it would take place on site, so we will send an auditor, of course, coming from the region. So within this particular context, we will have someone coming from India. So somewhere within India, come to your office to conduct an on-site audit. It's most of the time take place within a day. The auditor will interview with your staff members, with random suppliers to double check and verify if your online reporting actually reflects the operations at your office in the ground. which is very different from the Travelife partner stage, because at Travelife partner stage we only run the online desk audit. So the whole process will be online between you and a Travelife coach, and the coach will help you improving the Travelife partner report until your report is in compliance to obtain the Travelife partner award. Now, for Travelife Certify, it would be the same process plus an independent on-site audit to make sure that we would hear recommendation from 3 different parties before making the final decisions on whether or not to give your company the Travelife Certified. The Travelife membership fee varies on the numbers of employees and the numbers of offices per country. So if you are inbound to operators only based in India, then it will be calculated based on the number of employees that you have. So if it's less than 25 employees, it will be 200 euros. If it's between the range of 25 to 100, it will be 300. And if it's over 100 employees, it will be 400 euros. And that's for Travelife partner stage. Now, if your company decide to move a step further to Travelife certified, the new fee would apply upon the time where you request for an on-site audit. So you can still go through the whole online audit process for Travelife certified stage with the old fee, so with the fee of 200 to 400 euros. And the moment you decided to request for an on-site audit, the new fee would apply, and it is this range. So it's also based on the numbers of employees at that time. And the membership fee will be double or triple based on how many countries you are operating in. We do have quite a numbers of DMCs who are members of Travelife, where they have offices in 5 or 6 different countries. Then this fee will be added up based on the countries, and of course it would how much it is will based on the numbers of full-time employees per that specific country. Before the certification process, of course, we're not going to leave you alone. We're always here to help out. There's different ways of help that and support that Travelife offers for its members. The most important thing, the thing that we're very proud of, is the online training courses that we have online based on different sustainability themes. So internal management, internal environmental management, for example, or animal welfare, or tour guides and sustainabilities. So these based on different topics. And other than allowing you and your team to go on the Travelife platform and take use of the Travelife training, Travelife also allow unlimited access for your suppliers. So you can also add your suppliers to the Travelife platform to take use of this training. We have two specific training for tour guides. So all of our members have found this very useful for them to engage their tour guides in the topic of sustainability in their own times, because we all know that guides always have so much different schedule, and most of tour operators work with tour guides on a part-time basis. So having an online platform ensure that they can do the training at their own time, and each of the training will give a personal certificate if they pass the final exam. So you as a tour operator would be you can assure yourself that when the guy can show you the certificates, that means that they have done the training. And this is how it looks like on the Travelife platform. With everything that I show as a screenshot from the Travelife platform, I will walk you through the actual platform later and show you where exactly you can find the information. This is how it looks like on an online course. So I take an example of the internal environmental management course. For each course, we'll first have the first introduction. The final exam is outside, but without finishing all quizzes per module. And this, so all of the topic, we call it modules. Without completing the quizzes per module, an user will not be able to start the final exam. And this is how you can make sure that if your guides would take the Travelife training for tour guides, they do have to go through each module before they can start with the final exam. We also have video seminars that base on the different sustainability topics. This is a little bit different from the online trainings courses that we have. And it goes more in depth into the benefits of sustainability, the actual roles and responsibility of tour operators, marketing in sustainability. And these are quite quick and short videos that you can take use of also on the Travelife platform based on certain topic. So you can browse through within your own time based on your own preference of the topic that you like to watch. Here's again is how the planning and reporting tool. This is the planning and reporting tool for Travelife certified level, but it's basically look quite the same. The only difference is that we have more criteria under Travelife certified, but the way we divide sustainability themes is exactly the same with the Travelife partner. And this is how it looks like in details, but let's walk through it later. Every single year, Travelife join two biggest travel markets. One is in London, which is a world travel market in November, and another one is in ITB Berlin. And I'm sure that if you targeting the European market, you probably hear at least once. We do have the Travelife award hands out on both of the events per year. Unfortunately, with COVID times, it's really difficult to organize one. So at the moment, we can't really meet the company face to face and actually award them with the Travelife award that they have acquired over the year. But where we can travel again, and when you, these companies here, who are actually going forward with the Travelife certification and get the Travelife certification, this is where you would receive the certificate and exposed to our to the media. Before we check out the Travelife online platform, so just in case, if you have, I'm not sure if TOFTigers have already introduced to you about the login for Travelife platform, but if you have problem login today, feel free to connect with the Travelife team at coordinator@travelife.info. Then we will help you with the login into the Travelife platform. But normally it should work that you enter the username here. So it is a username that you register with TOFTigers. And the Travelife, the default password would be Travelife without any capital, any space in between, just Travelife, easy. And then you can log in. After logging in, the Travelife page would look like this. Now we have 5 main pages here. Within the limitation of today, I won't be able to run through every single thing on the platform, but I will make sure that I cover the main parts for you to understand it for now, and you can experience and play around with the platform after this. And of course, if you have any questions, please make sure, please send us an email at coordinator@travelife.info. Under each main page, there are sub pages with different information under it. So the most important part is My Space, which is where you manage all of the information about your organization on the Travelife platform. So it's a little bit like an admin page for you. You first need to go to, I have a different login account. I actually have a different login account for this one. You should be able to take a look at. Oh, sorry guys. I think I got a wrong login account. So let me just do it again. Oh, I still have this. That's really strange. Sorry for this. So I actually have a group login which is not the login that I should show you today. But as an individual company login, you shouldn't be able to see my companies, but you would see my profile first. And under my profile, it would show the information of your company. And it would look like this. So you have the tab organizations, where you can change the information of your organizations. It's very important to have your high resolutions correct logo uploaded here in the platform, because Travelife do shows which companies have acquired Travelife partner or certify on our platform, and it's open to public. So when your company actually get to Travelife partner or Travelife certified stage, your company information will be displayed on the Travelife platform for public, that including your logo. So if you do want to have a correct logo being displayed, please make sure that you upload the correct logo and do it here. After putting all the informations, you can click on update to save the informations. Coordinator is the place where it displays the information of the sustainability coordinator. For each Travelife members, we only work with one representative person from the company, and we call it sustainability coordinator. So before deciding to work with Travelife, you do have to make a decision within the company on who would be that liaisons person between the company and Travelife. And that person will have all the admin's rights into your company account. So this is the only person who that will see all of the functions that you see here. For the staff login, they will not be able to see all of these managing functions. And you can easily change it at all times. Here is a list of a test account for staff members. So as long as you add your staff member to the system, their name will be listed here under this part. And if you want to change to somebody else, if you want to replace somebody else to be the sustainability coordinator, feel free to do it here. The most important part here under this tabs, my space, my profile, is documents. So the document tab shows all of the documents that you need that will be useful for you to read to understand further the Travelife certification process. We have the welcome pack to Travelife here, which basically explain again the whole process of going from Travelife Engage to Travelife Partners, and breaking down into clear steps. So step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, until you get to the Travelife Partner. We also have user manuals for company, which explain how the Travelife platform works technically. So you would be able to understand, what is it under my staff, what is it under my groups, what is it for my action, how do I use quick scan, and so on. Terms and conditions for Travelife membership. So there's a lot of materials that you can read here. So in case you forgot how the Travelife platform works, you forgot what does it take to get to Travelife Partner, or what does it take to get to Travelife Certified, just log into the Travelife platform, my space, my profile, documents, and this is where you find all the other documents. We also, at the moment, we have documents in German and in French, so and a little bit of Italian. So if you think that you're more comfortable in reading a German and French materials, then you can also find it here. Hopefully, within the partnership with TOFTigers, we will be able to add more languages here. Invoice. So before activating your account on the Travelife platform, we will send you an invoice for the annual membership fee, and you can pay that online after logging in under here. Of course, you can also choose to transfer via bank transfer, but if you prefer to pay via PayPal or credit card, you can do it directly here in the system without waiting for us to send you an email. You can also change the password here. Once you become a member, as a coach, so we call it a coach or a mentor. So a specific person from Travelife will be assigned to be your coach throughout the whole process, and you will find the information of the coach here under my coach. Any questions so far? Are we good to go?
Yep, no questions. Good to go. So keep doing
All right.
a good job.
Yeah. And I talk about the fact that you can add your staff members, your suppliers into the Travelife platform, and this is how you do it. So only the sustainability coordinator of the company can actually add people to the platform. That's the only person who has that right. So make sure when you log in, you actually log in with that sustainability coordinator login. And either staff or suppliers can be added under here as staff members, and you can easily do that just by clicking in here. Just put in their first name, last name, email address, submit, and then their information will be added here under my staff. So you can see that we already add some of the test staff members here. Please be aware that each of them will, you have the right to decide whether they have access to your reporting page, which was the page that I showed before in the presentations. You don't want your, especially in the Travelife reporting, there might be a lot of confidential information, internal information that you share with Travelife, and you don't want your suppliers to look at. So make sure that when you add your suppliers, your tour guides, or your drivers, for example, to the platform, make sure that you choose the right for them in viewing, or completely block their view on your reporting, on your Travelife reporting, or making them an editor. Of course, editor is something that we do not recommend. And we only recommend you to allow the editor right for a handful of employees within the company where you trust. Because having the auditor rise means that they can access the Travelife reporting and change the information anytime. Now, if they change the information or remove something, Travelife won't be able to recover it. So whoever have the editings right means that they have a full power over the Travelife reporting, and really make sure that you discuss this with the team of the future risk of allowing the editor rights for the staff members. So these two are the main important parts under my space. And the next one under my space is learning. And under learning is everything you need to know about sustainability. So if you have questions on how can I engage the team, how can I manage my sustainability performance and implementation better, this is where you go in and search for the information instead of going on Google. I talk about the online courses, and this is where you can access it. This button is a little bit small, but I hope you can still find it. And this is where you access different Travelife online training. We have the basic training, which is the mandatory training for all sustainability coordinator to pass. And this basic training includes of two minor courses. One is tour operators and sustainability. The other one is sustainability management. You can just click on open to access it. And the course is completely is interactive and has been divided into different modules. So for example, if you want to learn about social policy, and you click on it to find information under social policy. And for each module, we have a set of quiz. Now it is mandatory for all users to finish all the quiz and you to score 100% in the quiz. So if you have some false answers in the whole quiz set, you have to redo it again and redo it again until you score 100% of the quiz. Then and if you do that for all modules, then you can finally start with the final exam. But you won't be able to start with the final exam if all the modules are not completed. So this is how it looks like for the online training. Of course, there are a lot more, and I'm not going to go through all of them within today, but all the training have the same format for how it being displayed. So there's always a short introduction on the left side, and on the right side are all the modules from the training. And again, each modules need to be completely finished by scoring 100% of the quiz before you start with the final exam. So if one of your employees mentions that, oh, I can't start with the final exam, you know exactly why. Under learning, there's my seminars, which shows the upcoming seminars that Travelife have. So be sure to check that out often to see if there's something that might be of your interest. We also have the coaching videos that explain Travelife in details, each of the chapters. So we have a chapter on transport, chapters on tech activities. We would explain the Travelife requirements for transport, requirements for activities in details in here. So throughout the whole reporting process, if you found it difficult to understand the Travelife requirements, or you found it difficult to know how to report and what needs to be reported to Travelife in order to be in full compliance, then please make sure to check this coaching video. This is where you find the video seminars that I already show in the presentations. And background info includes all the PDFs. So this is the reading materials that you can find. Now you can see that a lot of them are quite outdated, and we are very aware of this. But for the main parts, we still think that the content of the materials are still very much relevant to today's. Obviously, some of the statistics that has been used in these materials are not so updated anymore, and we are actually working on improving the on upgrading the learning materials here for the companies, but for the moment this is what it is. Now, one of the very important part is the Travelife planning and reporting. So again, in order to obtain either the Travelife partner report, so the Travelife partner award, or the Travelife certified award, it's mandatory to report to Travelife on each activities going on in your company against the Travelife requirements. And to do that, you need to go to planning and reporting. It's going to show you this overview. You click on view, and then you would see all the Travelife requirements under here. We have 10 themes, as I have mentioned. And if you click on show the themes, you can see all the sub themes under each themes. And each of the sub themes would have its specific sets of requirements. So for example, procurement under internal management. There are 6 different requirements, and this is what we call the reporting page. And in this reporting page, you can see that if you hover over requirement 3.2, it would show different explanations, but the format of the reporting page is the same. So on every single criteria, you would see a reporting page. So the a reporting tab on that reporting page, which is where you do your reporting. And you can see first is the brief titles of what the requirement is about, a brief explanations of what it is. And above the text box, you can see this bolded part. It is what we want you to show us, what we want you to provide to us, so that we can make a decision on whether or not you are in full compliance with this specific requirements. So please make sure to answer directly to what we ask. So if we say just provide an explanations on what kind of printing that you are doing, or if you can tick NO if you do not own a printing and coffee machine, just please focus on printing only. Do not go for others. We have a lot of criteria where you can explain for yourself what kind of sustainability actions are taking place at your operations. So please make sure it's also for you to save time that you answer directly to what we ask. And most often it is what being asked here in the bold text box before this. And in this case, we already give a template, an example of how you should report. So in this case, we say we recycle paper as much as possible and try to minimize printing. And we also do print double-sided. So that's an example. And you can also provide any supporting document possible to Travelife by using our file managers tool to upload the file. The principles of doing reporting to Travelife is less talking, but more supporting documents. So whatever supporting documents that you have, please make sure that you add them all. That would help you in reducing the time to explain what have been taking place in your operations. If you still don't understand how to implement this this standard, you can check out two of our supporting tools. One is guidance. Now, not all of the guidance would have explanations on what to do. Sometimes when the requirement itself is already black and white, we don't provide further guidance, but sometimes there will be guidance under here. Or you can also check out the best practices tab, where you will see practices from other companies worldwide to see if you can take inspirations from their practice. If you still don't know what to do, remarks would be the tabs where you have the conversations with the Travelife coach that being assigned to you in the beginning. So you can write, I don't know what to do with this requirements. We don't have this in our country. We don't have that in our country. What do you suggest? For example, and then you can save it. And as long as you do as whatever you write in here, it will be saved with an exclamation mark in the platform. And this exclamation mark will be the indicators for where on the Travelife platform the conversations are taking place. Be aware that Travelife doesn't have a automatic notification functions for the Travelife coach to know that you have left him or her a questions. So when you go through the Travelife reporting and you have a questions here at 3.1 and then at 3.3 you have another question, you can also pop the question here, and 3.6 you have another question, you can also pop the questions here. And once you go through the whole Travelife report, you can see that the exclamation mark is also displayed here from the overview page, to make sure that you are aware, and also your coach is aware of where there's still conversations. So as long as you pop all the question into the platform, the only extra step that we would like for you to do is to pop an email to your personal coach and say, hey coach, I have some questions for you on the Travelife platform. Can you check? You don't have to say, I have questions for you in 3.1, 3.5, 3.6. So that is something you don't have to indicate, but you do have to notify the coach that you have questions in the system. And then the coach will come back and answer to your question also directly here, if on what are the recommendation or suggestions from the coach for you to do. And then the coach, after giving all of the answers, the coach would also send you an email saying, I have answers all of your questions. Can you double check again? And the whole process would go back and forth until the conversation is resolved. And until it is resolved, you simply just take out the exclamation mark. And now you see that as I take out all the exclamation mark from the remark, the exclamation mark now disappear from the system. And that is when we come back to it, we know that, okay, this conversation is resolved. Travelife system, as I mentioned, it looks very overwhelming with so many different criteria. However, we have obligatory and voluntary criteria, which is indicated by a tick and a dash in our system under this second column. And if you hover the mouse, if you hover the mouse over it, you also see that they say not mandatory, and this is obligatory. For either Travelife partner state or Travelife certified stage, we only look at your compliance on the obligatory criteria, which means if you say no in here, and if you also say no in here, that will not affect the decision of the Travelife partner or the Travelife certified. And what I always recommend company, especially for the first time engaged with Travelife, is to really focus on the obligatory criteria first. The voluntary criteria are more of an optional for company, especially where they have enough capacity to take on different actions. But again, it will not affect the decisions at all. So when you don't have it in place, feel don't feel shy. You don't feel pressure that you have to take on this action. If you feel like your company at this moment, you're more comfortable with tackling the obligatory criteria first, then you can simply click no on these non-mandatory criteria. However, when it comes to obligatory criteria, then you do have to plan out in your operations that you're going to do this in the future, and it will take place. Otherwise, neither Travelife partner or Travelife certified will be granted. So yeah, basically that's the Travelife system. The actions plan is an optional tool where we allow, where the company can use it to plan out the actions for the futures. So if you go through a certain obligatory criteria and you see that, oh, we actually haven't set double-sided printing for our printers and we're going to do it from now, then you can add the task here, aside to a specific staff member which already in the system, choose a start date, end date, financial hours, and then save. Then the task will be recorded in the system. Now, again, as I mentioned, this is really an optional task. So if you feel more comfortable creating an action plan using Excel or Word, however it works best for you and your team, please go ahead with it. And you can ignore the Travelife action planning tool here. So that is the most important parts of the Travelife platform. For the rest, I would really encourage you to take time, go over the, again, the My Space, My Profile documents, start downloading all of these documents and look through them all again. Where I'm pretty sure that when you have the chance to play out with the Travelife platform, you would have so much more questions, and many of them can be answers, already have an answers either in any of these documents. But if you still can't find the answers, of course, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And that is it for the Travelife platform.